Blog is an online journal or diary. It is a ticket for memories that attract thousands and even millions of followers to experience the beautiful moment of them and to fantasize the world they created. However, for some with millions of followers, blog is a communicative capitalism that only cares for views rather than the comment. For millions of views give them a lot of profit. Nevertheless, there are some bloggers who had few followers but still continue to blog. But why? Well, as research suggests, they spend their time on blog to cure their loneliness and boredom. In addition, bloggers are on sickness, worrying what would be the best content that will catch a lot of attractions, and so anxiety on blogging is harmful. It relies on an image of the world as a communicative one, wherein a communication existing everywhere and weak, dangerous yet unavoidable. The bloggers are blogging is a fact of this world. Hereafter, Jacques Lacan associates anxiety with some sense, meaning to say, anxiety is triggered by an object, may it be impossible object, surplus object, or object designating excess enjoyment. Anxiety about blogging then is anxiety about enjoyment. Blog anxiety then expresses our anxiety in the face of enjoyment. We are captured doing not what we want, but what we must. For we enjoy the repetitive movement of this world. That if blogs are analyzed via the logic of tribe, they are something we want but lack. They are objects difficult to avoid, elements of an inescapable circuit in which we are caught, compelled, and driven. People enjoy the circulation of affect that is present in itself as a contemporary communication. Blogs, social networks, Twitter, YouTube, they produce and circulate the affect as a binding technique. First, affective links are stronger than hypertextual ones. Link not as sign of affiliation, but as an evidence. Second, affective attachment to media in themselves is not sufficient to produce communities. Third, affective networks produce feelings of community, or what we might call community without community. They enable mediated relationships that take a variety of changing, so while relations in affective networks merge and diverge, we might bark and follow, such as blogs anxiety, mood flows on Twitter, military message intensification, and irrational exuberance. With Twitter, one can send and receive messages to one's network, either laptop or phone, thereby staying in touch while away from the computer. Twitter, like updates on Facebook, lets users keep connected without having the trouble to sending and responding to individual text messages. Users don't need to concern themselves with specific followers. They can find and follow updates by topic, a profile is enabled by hashtag, or a phrase preceded by the hash site. Large websites and blogs began to feature Twitter rooms. Pages of Twitter posts grouped thematically by poster. Now politicians and non-celebrity also tweet. Even when our tweets weren't followed by more than a few hundred people, it still felt like something to issue updates and statements. Not surprisingly, commentary was mixed. According to Alexander Seychik, Twitter feeds are growing constant contact media addiction, burst span attention compression, and morbidity to the point of depravity. According to Clive Thompson on his wires, Twitter is multiple. Mindless updates result in something more, a kind of ambient awareness or social proprioception. They have cumulative effects, producing sense of others' everyday lives and feelings. Pentagon Organization of Former Generals as media talking heads. Pentagon campaign, they are retired generals who used to shape terrorism coverage from inside the TV and radio networks. Analysts used in the campaign to generate favorable news of the administration's wartime performance. Internal Pentagon documents repeatedly refer to the military analysts as message force multipliers or surrogates who could be counted on to deliver administration themes and messages to millions of Americans in the form of their own opinion. It can be assented in at least two ways. First, the force multiplication indexes, a communication strategy for a complex media environment, plus adding lots of forces, putting more people on the ground or in the air, just as one would send more troops into a situation.
This includes television news shows, blogs, serves as to be the bearer of administration's voice. Second, multiplication of message forces indicates a concrete awareness of the effective dimension of media in communicative capitalism. It observed the lesson from advertising and pop music, that the goal is spreading, diversifying, and intensifying the message force. Republican George W. Bush served 2 terms as president from 2001 to 2009. He is one having numerous scandals about aggressive war against Iraq. Bush argued that the vulnerability of U.S. following the September 11 attack of 2001, combined with Iraq's early continued possession and manufacture of weapons of mass destruction, an accusation that was later proved erroneous. Contemporary effective networks rely on marking, adding, forwarding, and circulating of messages, not because doing so means something, but simply to communicate. Tweets, Facebook updates, images of cute kitties, text messages, this media of effective flow can be limited neither to their content nor to their materiality. Terra Nova's claims that opinion polls, surveys, and risk assessments are the most effective and concise modality of information transmission today. Technology figures heavily in Greenspan's speech. Alan Greenspan is the chair of the U.S. Federal Reserve Board, who gave the speech entitled "The Challenge of Central Banking in a Democratic Society," that states the application of technology is the key to remedy those economic problems. Including Greenspan, the key factor behind the market boom was the fact that the country had entered into a new era. Technology and competition created new opportunities for prosperity and growth. Indeed, whole new ways of conceptualizing prosperity and growth. For others, that increases in corporate earnings in the mid-1990s coincided with popular uptake of the internet. Does not mean that computers and the internet themselves caused the increases. Most of the internet companies, despite their extraordinary successful initial public stock offerings, were not themselves making a profit. Still, the internet felt profitable. Greenspan emphasized awesome changes. It felt new, exciting, and innovative. Kelly, the Wired's editor, emphasized ever-extending feedback loops. Each actualization of an idea supplies room for more technology, and each new technology supplies room for more ideas. They feed on each other, rounding faster and faster. Moreover, using internet technologies to make money seemed to prove that the technologies themselves were money makers without limit, even when, especially when, the actual company showed no profits and quickly burned through their venture capital. Some of the more spectacular collapses included Pets.com, which lost over $100 million, and eToys, with debts over $270 million. Anything can be an opportunity. One doesn't know what will work, what will fail, because the nature of the network economy seeds disequilibrium, fragmentation, uncertainty, churn, and relativism. The anchors of meaning and value are in short supply. We are simply unable to deal with questions that cannot be answered by means of technology.